Long, long time ago, in the city of Babylon, there lived a king named King Ahasuerus. One day, he threw a big party and it lasted for how many months? Do you remember? Yes, it lasted for 3 months. And he invited Queen Vashti to come, but Queen Vashti didn't come, and so the king was furious, and Queen Vashti was no longer queen. The guards began to ask, "Who will rule after you?" The king said, "I will marry a new queen. She must be beautiful with long black hair and an intelligent face." So they searched for her, and now they found the girl at last. Her name was Havana, or you can call her Esther, the book of Esther. Esther was very beautiful, and when she came to meet the king finally said, "This is the woman I needed to become queen." And so she was crowned as queen. Moments later, or about 3 or 5 years later, there lived a man named by the name Haman. King Ahasuerus loved this man very much, but Haman especially hated Mordecai. Esther's parents had been dead, and Mordecai was the uncle of Esther, so Mordecai had taken care of Esther and loved her very much as his own daughter. Mordecai was now the king's guard. That was a very, very important job in the palace. And so, whenever Haman saw him, Mordecai did not bow to him or did reverence to him. He just sat like this and didn't care. That made Haman very, very upset. And so, Haman wanted to tell the king about Mordecai, but he didn't want to tell like this. King Ahasuerus, oh, you're so mighty and strong. I want to kill Mordecai. The king would be furious when he heard about that. And so Haman said, "Oh, king, you're so wonderful. You're mighty and strong. You rule the whole kingdom." Haman used flattering words. We should never be tempted when we use flattering words. So King Ahasuerus loved his flattering words, and he was quickly tempted by the person who used Mordecai did not obey God's word. That person is Satan. Satan never wants God's will to be done. And so Mordecai, when he heard the news was very sad. In the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, every Jew will be killed. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine when Mordecai put ashes on his head and he wore ragged clothes and he cried. And then he sent a message to Esther. "Esther, you gotta come to me." He was kind of like stammering over the words because he can't imagine how sad to see his people dying. Mordecai said, "Oh, Esther, you need to come quickly. The king, the servant of the king, Haman, has made a law that on the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, every Jew will die." At that time of day, the Persian Empire was the biggest city in the world, or the biggest country in the world. And so every Jew will live it. Even Israel belongs to the Persian Empire. And so when Israel heard this, they moaned and they cried for help. Esther said, "What? I can't believe this." But Mordecai said, "Esther, you got to go to the king and tell what he needs." Esther hesitated and said, "No, the king will kill me. The king will hand down his golden scepter and then I would be killed." Mordecai said, "Oh no, don't worry about that. Maybe God has put you to be queen to be like this." And so Esther prayed with her maids for 3 days. Wow, pray 3 days without stopping. My goodness, what a long time is it? And so when Esther finally come to the king handed out his golden scepter and he accepted her appearance. her appearance and said, I've come to invite you to a banquet, just you and Haman, and I have a request for you. Will you come? The king happily agreed, and Haman also happily agreed, and then they went to the banquet together. Haman was very happy that he and the king was the only person who was invited to the banquet. Well, I guess that's the end of my story, and then I'll tell you next half in the next lesson, because next lesson we're going to learn about something new and fascinating.